Score! Score! Score!
Hello. It's a great night.
Hey now.
Perfect night.
All right. Good evening.
Show me your butt. I mean, show me your pick.
It is 9:06 p.m. Eastern.
Oh.
March the 12th, 2022. Show me your picks, Sandra, Brendan, Charles. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing real good.
Doing
real good.
awesome.
Nice full of surprises, you guys.
It is.
This is going to be.
It is.
There's going to be
Thanks for being here.
A lot of
surprise, motherfucker.
All the way through the show.
A lot of surprises, and we got a lot to talk about. We're talking about Mr. Big tonight, and we got a guest in the green room waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, we got a surprise for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bring in the surprise.
Yes.
Let's bring
breathe. Just breathe.
Everybody sit down. Grab a seat.
Sit down. Have a seat.
Hang on to something.
Here we go.
All right. So
I can't stop smiling.
I don't know.
My face hurts.
I know.
I'm so happy.
I know. So let's first of all, before we get to roll call, Sandra, and we're going to let you do it tonight, sweetie. Before we get to roll call, let's welcome back, after a little bit of a hiatus with us, what a glorious night it is.
Yeah.
There he is, Spit Tom.
Look at him.
Yeah.
You guys are too kind.
Look at this guy.
Missed all you guys.
We missed you. Super
You could have
hard.
just asked for a little break. You could have just asked. You didn't, we would have given
I didn't have to go that severe, right?
No.
Right.
Oh, welcome back, my brother.
So good to see you. Oh,
You're looking good, Tom. You're looking
been
good.
a wild ride. Thanks, man.
I can imagine, yeah.
Wow.
Tommy, how you doing, bro?
Doing a lot better.
Good.
A lot better than 6 weeks ago, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
right on.
You sound great, man.
You do.
Sound great. Look great.
Getting better one day at a time. So
excellent.
Absolutely.
Couple new scars, but
Right.
Hey, man, chicks dig scars.
Sure.
So
that's all.
They make
I was teasing my son. I said, I'm going to get I have a scar. It's about probably 8 inches, 10 inches long. I said, I'm going to get a zipper over it. And he's like, you better not.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
I would.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, gosh, it's so good to see you, Tommy. We've missed you, bro. I mean,
missed you too.
Hasn't been the same without you, man.
Not the same.
No, it has not.
No.
Dude.
Nope.
It sucks.
Nobody to play this for.
Watch your profanity.
In case anyone's wondering, I'm just going to get this out of the way. I have a necrotic finger, so I got lucky. They don't have to amputate it. But
oh, nice.
I'm probably going to need some sort of cap to put over to be able to play.
And So for those watching, just so you, we always send Tommy and CK a link when we do these shows. We know they've been out, but us here on panel, we had no idea of Tommy coming until just shortly ago. So
Like
this is
like
such a
10, 15
treat.
minutes ago.
Yeah, dude.
Beer
I mean,
trunk.
usually
Best surprise of the day, Tom.
I'm usually
Yes,
sitting there
bro.
not feeling well or falling
Thank you,
asleep, but
Sandra.
I happen to feel a little bit better tonight, so I didn't want to miss a chance to see you guys. So
I know, and stay as long as you want, and if you have to leave, we totally
Yeah,
understand.
totally, dude.
yeah, I'll
Absolutely.
definitely
So
stay
good
as
to
long
see
as
you,
I can.
brother.
I'll let you know.
Yep. Yeah, no problem at all.
Let you know how my body holds up.
Yeah, man.
Very cool.
Yeah, man.
Very
Yeah, but and Keith Campbell already said you can be like kind of like Tony Iommi.
It
a
was
little
funny.
bit.
One of my close friends who was a buddy in high school, and then he went to school and got a degree in guitar. The funny thing is, Brennan, you'll appreciate this. He went back to school now. He's an engineer now.
Oh, nice.
But-
Awesome.
But he said the same thing. He's like, you can be like Tony Iommi. And he goes, oh, maybe that was a little harsh. I'm like, no, you're like the fourth person to say it.
They don't wait for that. No one's compassionate like that anymore. Oh, dude, look what you can do. You know?
Well,
It's like,
I mean,
yeah, I
these are all my
I know.
buddies I've known since I
Oh,
was
of
like
course.
a teenager. So they're
It's-
like, they're going to
it's
bust
all-
my balls, you know?
Yeah, it's all about love. If you can bust your balls, then you know you're.
I said I'm going to
feeling
get a
better.
light up red tip to put over it to be my ET finger.
Rudolph the red-nosed finger.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'll be fine. That's
Freak
gonna
the
be
kids
awesome.
out when I go back to school.
Yeah, go.
You just put on Tony Iommi riffs. That's all.
Yeah, if
I
you don't
think
do your
I've-
homework, the finger's gonna
I think
come
I've
for you.
rewatched every movie, saw every TV series I wanted to see, watched every English soccer and European soccer game, watched every hockey game. Like
So you're probably way
Yeah.
smarter now than all of us because you got a lot of
I don't
knowledge.
know. I'm way sick of TV though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Excellent.
so awesome.
Rehab's going good though, Tommy.
Yeah, slow but good.
Good,
I can actually shower myself now, which is like amazing when you
I'm sure.
take it for granted, and then you're like,
Right.
I can go in the bathroom, not have to have someone in there helping me,
Yeah.
and get myself dressed and everything, and it's
That's such
Good.
great news.
Holly wants to know how your boys are, Tom, because I'm sure
they're doing great. My dad's been the most amazing. My dad's been here. He won't want to come in because he's shy, but he's been the most amazing. He basically moved in with me and my sons,
That's awesome.
and my son is sleeping on the couch so that my dad can, have the bed because my son's 15 and
Yep.
weighs, very little, so the couch is fine for him. But he's been helping with them, taking them everywhere. He's got a calendar with all my medicines, all my appointments, everything, taking me to every single appointment. He missed like one day the whole time I was in the hospital, and that's only because my kids needed him for something. He was there every day, literally just hanging out. We were watching like Rambo on TNT and stuff in the hospital.
Nice.
That's great.
So I can't thank him enough.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
awesome, man.
Good, Tommy. That's great news, dude.
This makes the week, dude.
Oh,
It really
man.
does, without a
Oh,
doubt.
yeah.
Oh, thank you, man. It's good to see you
Without a
guys.
doubt. Can we call you Nubby or no? Is
Yeah,
that too
you can
soon?
call me whatever you
Too
want.
soon?
Well, my
Right on,
my
dude.
two
It's a
friends
joke,
who are,
Sandra. Come on.
my two friends who are both on permanent disability are like, now you can join the Cripple Club, but you can't say that unless you're around us.
Well, you and Keith
Very
Campbell.
cool.
Keith Campbell was putting it in there. That's why I said it, Sandra. It's Keith's fault. I'm like, okay. I'm blame Keith. That's okay.
So before we bring in our special guest,
Yes.
I see a lot of cool cats here hanging out with us. Sandra, who's
We
here?
want to welcome Charmaine Taylor. She says she's tuning in from London. Thank you so much for
Hey,
being
welcome,
here.
Charmaine.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Jimmy Ray Hawkins, good to see you.
Jimmy. What's up?
Brendan Butt Cheeks is in the chat. Keith Campbell says, yo,
Hi.
kids. Nelson Rodriguez, what's up, dude? Denham, New
What's going
Jersey.
on,
Jeff
Nelson?
K. Dwight Bailey, Hitman's in the house. Janice Lala, how you doing,
Hey,
Delaware?
Janice.
Christopher, oops, I jumped the gun. I saw him, but now he disappeared.
Sawa. Sawa's
Yes,
in there somewhere.
Yeah, he's in there somewhere. Tim Thomas, good to see you, dude.
Hey,
Holly Lewis,
Molly. It's good to see
hey,
you, girl.
beautiful. There's Christopher Sawa saying hi.
Christopher. All right. Very cool.
Thank Tom's in the chat.
Yep. We will.
Tom is in the
put Tom
house.
in the chat. Did I say Keith Campbell? I'm not sure if I said
You can say it again.
Keith Campbell. And yeah, we will say hello as they come straggling in as the show goes along. Thanks for tuning in. Do me a favor, it only takes 10 seconds. And please, we need to get the word out about these shows. So if you could, just take the next 10 seconds and share this stream out. Let's get some more live
3,
viewers.
2,
Make sure
1.
you hit the sub. Please ring the bell. And yeah, Mr. Big
Yeah.
and special guest.
Thanks
coming
for
up
being
top.
here. Nice to see you
Welcome
guys.
back.
Very nice to see you. So, Tommy,
Brian, if you're watching, hi.
it is just hitting me that it is really ironic that our special guest tonight, we first met because of you, brother.
Is that right?
Do you want to
Yeah.
reach back and
Oh,
recall and
because the
go ahead
video.
and introduce our man? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Paris, so you mentioned that while we were live one night. Do you remember that?
I do remember now because I was just, up late at night watching YouTube, and I came across this video, and it basically said, I don't remember verbatim, but basically, band plays entire Van Halen 1 in order in its entirety. And I'm thinking, are they going to do the whole thing? Are they going to do Eruption? How good is it going to be? Sometimes it's, as a huge Van Halen fan, sometimes, it's good, but it's not like, eh. And I put it on the first time, and I see Simon open up, and I'm just like, oh, damn. This guy's phenomenal. The whole
We all
band.
had seen it at that point,
Neil's
though.
backstage? Oh, no. Almost like he was waiting. Look at him go. Anyways.
The whole band's phenomenal. But so basically what it was him and his band doing the whole Van Halen 1 album live. No stops, no breaks, nothing. Straight through. And I was so impressed. And that was the first time I had ever seen him. And then I, got more into watching some of his stuff. And he had a bunch of different groups, Virgil and Donati. He's toured with some very large acts, which I'll let him get in and explain that himself. He's a producer, an engineer, a studio guy, all around phenomenal musician. And more than that, even if he didn't play any instruments, just a great guy. One of the most genuine, nice, giving people you ever will meet. And on top of that, the icing on the cake is he can play his ass off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In a myriad of styles, which is even more impressive.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in, man. Bring him in.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the great Simon Hosford.
Ah.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's obviously all very, very sweet, but mostly I think I've got tears in my eyes for seeing you for the first time in a long time, Tom. So yeah, that's the surprise, the best surprise I could have had in weeks, brother. So great to see you. Thank you for that. And it's totally true what Tony was saying, that it's really Tom that has just been such a beautiful human being since the moment that I met him. And I think it was really through Tom saying, hey guys, I've seen Simon's video, that really that I'm even a guest on the show at all. So, kind of owe it all to Tom, and I'm so glad to see you with us, brother. I can't tell you how much that warms my heart. It's one of the best surprises that I've had in a long time. So awesome to see you, Tom. Thanks for the intro. The check's in the mail.
Nice.
Well, thank you, man. I've missed all you guys, so it's great to see you. And Haas, it's definitely awesome to see you, man. Miss all you guys.
It's awesome to see you too, brother. And of course, Tony and Brandon and Charles and Sandra. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Nice to see you, Hoss.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude. Always a pleasure. Had a good time Wednesday, dude.
Yeah, you were on Wednesday too. It's like Simon week.
Yeah, well, actually, I was just dropping in really because, of course, Brian Young was the special guest on Wednesday. Sure. And then don't you get the impression that 2 hours of Brian telling road stories is just scratching the surface?
Oh,
Lord.
1%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard to really with Brian, he's, and he's such a great talker as well. You just wind him up and let him go, and it's hard for anyone else to get a word in, you know. So yeah, obviously it was a I was just dropping in really to be a part of it and say hey. But that was cool. That was a fun show, and there was a lot of stories. You guys know I've known Brian since 1999, but there's some stories that I've never heard him tell in that episode. So I would say if anyone hasn't caught up on the replay of Wednesday's show yet, check it out because it's 2 hours of David Lee Roth road stories gold.
Oh yeah, just nuggets, stuff that we've never heard. Oh my goodness.
I was just going to say, as we would say down here, AKNF, all killer, no filler. You know, there's hard to get a word in. It was great.
Yeah.
Those are the best and the worst shows, you know, because you can't get a word in, but man, you learn a hell of a lot.
I was watching in bed the whole time.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, so
must on replay.
Tom mentioned that you've been touring with you've toured with some big names. Who were you touring with, and how was the experience?
Yeah, I was really fortunate. I started touring with Tommy Emmanuel around the world when I was about I guess it would be about 1994 when Tommy and I met, and he asked if I wanted to tour with him. And then not long after that, and sort of at the same time, you know, we'd kind of leapfrog tours. I met Colin Hay as well from Men at Work. And so I ended up touring with Men at Work for a long time. And we did a bunch of tours around the States. And also we did a lot around South America because Men at Work were huge there in the early 80s, you know. And
I love them.
They were huge here in the 80s.
They were big.
They were really
big here.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Massive.
They did do some stuff around the States. In fact, I remember telling Colin on the tour bus one time, and this would be going back to probably around like late 90s sometime. And a friend of mine, actually, I think it was Jerry Pantazis, who's the drummer in my Van Halen show. Mm-hmm. He had found in some kind of a record store a VHS tape of the Van Halen doing the US Festival. Now, obviously, this is way prior to YouTube and the internet and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to see now, but back then, and I was like, what's this? Because like Tom was saying, you know, I just grew up with Live Without a Net, and I'd really never seen any footage of David Lee Roth concerts. You know, I kind of missed all that. And as you guys know, they didn't tour with Roth down in Australia. Mm. So anyway, Jerry had found the US Festival videotape, and so we used to watch it on the tour bus and just piss ourselves laughing. But it was, and I don't mean like making fun of them, although, you know, it was a pretty funny gig in a lot of ways. But we were just flabbergasted that like our heroes could do a gig that was just kind of that had so many comical moments in it, you know, like when Roth is playing the harp, you know, and he look,
I've seen that. Yeah.
I don't know why that's the very first thing I think of, but that's just one of them. And anyway, so for a kid that had grown up with the sleekness of Live Without a Net, seeing David Lee Roth doing Tai Chi routines to a drum, so like we were just in stitches, and I was like, we were almost like, oh man, these are not the guys we thought they were, you know. But so we used to watch it on the bus, and then I remember sitting with Colin Hay one time, and he was like, oh, what are you guys watching? And we were saying, you know, Van Halen at the US Festival, and he was like, yeah, we headlined the night before.
Wow.
And so to your point, Tom and Brendan, when you're saying Men at Work were big everywhere, for a couple of years they were, you know, and you know, and that was so strange for me then being on tour and sitting in a tour bus with a guy
cool.
Had headlined the night before my idols, you know.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a trip. And so Colin had to put me straight on a couple of things that I thought the festival might be like. And he was like, no, it was like this and like that. But sorry, I'm losing my point. Hang on. So what the point the point of that story was, yes. So Men at Work were sold heaps of records and were number one in South America, but all through that early 80s period where they did a lot of shows, they never went to South America. So when we went there, and when I went there kind of as the hired gun to kind of take the place of their original guitarist, it was just huge. Like we did 5 weeks just in Brazil.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Let alone the rest.
You guys, you were just saying earlier you did a world tour. You did 49 countries, bro. That's
Wow.
that is a world
insane.
tour.
That's a world tour, man.
That's a lot of traveling.
And it was
flyer miles, bro.
Yeah, we did some miles, but I mean, Colin and I are friends to this day. And for anyone that doesn't know, he actually has lived in LA for a long time. He lives in Topanga and still does. So so sometimes when we'd finish a run, he would plan it so we'd end up in LA, and of course I would end up staying with him for a few weeks at least, usually to catch up with some people and go see some gigs, and sometimes I'd be there for months.
Wow.
And
Very cool.
and that's actually how I first met Brian Young, because I'd finished a Men at Work tour. We'd finished the tour up in LA. And I was just staying at Colin's house and, rented a car and did all of that and just got myself around. Saw in LA Weekly an ad for the Atomic Punks playing and thought, well, that's got to be a Van Halen band. So went and met Brian, and the rest is history. And we've stayed in touch, which is beautiful. But
That's awesome.
But yeah,
What if you showed up and it was a country band?
Well, it could have been, because there was no description in the paper on what the gig was. It just said. I can't remember where it was. It was a fair drive out of LA. It was at least like a 1 hour, 90-minute sort of drive. But it didn't say. It just said at this club, 9 p.m., the Atomic Punks. And I just went, oh, well, I've got nothing better to do. I just got in the car and went. And, of course, that was long before the days of GPS too. So there's me sitting in, for me, what's the wrong side of the car? On the wrong
road.
Everything was backwards.
Everything's backwards, and I'm on my own. And I've got nothing but the Thomas guide on the passenger seat, just trying to get around. And but I've got to say, I almost feel sorry for the young generation now, because that, in a way, that they're the things that you really remember strongly, and you can probably tell by the way I'm recalling it now. I have such fond memories of that. There's something a little bit scary about being in a foreign country with no GPS and saying, all right, stuff it. I'm just going to get in the car and just see what happens tonight.
No cell phone either. You use pay phones.
No cell. That's right.
Yeah.
No cell phone, no GPS. So you just get out the street directory and jump in, and off you go to see a bunch of people you've never met before play.
It's so funny on Sunset Strip, all over LA for that matter. You could see them. They would clear most of the flyers and bills that would get stapled up on every telephone pole in the city would kind of get sort of torn down here and there, or they get stapled over. But all you had to do to find out what band your favorite band was going to play is just go to the street corner and look on the side pole, and you can see it. Thousands of them would be there. That is how you got the word out that your band was going to be playing in those days. There was no social media.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And I remember reading in magazines and stuff about the Strip around the time of all the bands, like, Warrants and stuff like that. And they used to just go out plastering the poles. That was how you did it, right?
Exactly. And if you were good, you had your buddy. He let you get up on his shoulders so you could stick it up real high so nobody would tear it down, and it would stay there longer. That was the key right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very
So Simon, how many, other than Colin, how many of the original guys are in Men at Work still?
Well, Men at Work at this time don't exist at all. So Colin Hay has been basically just doing his solo career for a long time now, and releasing albums under his name, Colin Hay. But when I was touring with them, there were reasons that basically the rhythm section couldn't do any of the touring, or wouldn't do any of the touring. I believe that Ron, the guitarist who I was replacing, was in a cult in Montana
Wow.
And he wasn't interested in, but apparently he still to this day has all the demo tapes that Colin's been trying to get a hold of. I don't know if that's
Lord.
Wow.
Interesting.
But anyway, so that was the reason for me coming into the fold, and that happened. I mean, students and people ask all the time, so how did that even come to be that you ended up getting asked to play in it? And like most things in life, it's just kind of word of mouth. Like Colin's keyboard player, songwriter, and sax player and flute player, Greg Ham, knew some mutual friends of mine. And so they had just, you know, I was already kind of running around, I think, with Virgil Donati, like Tom was saying, and some of that stuff. And they'd heard about me. So it really just came to jamming at Greg Ham's house with Colin. We played some Men at Work songs. And I was really lucky because my parents had Men at Work records, like the first two.
Yeah,
Business
dude.
and Cargo.
Yeah, hey, Greg Ham was one of the reasons I played saxophone in middle school, because I had to
Really?
learn. I had to learn, you know, can it be now like that? So yeah, but
That's awesome, Brendan. Yeah. Greg, Greg was a blast to tour with. Unfortunately, Greg's not with us anymore, but he was such a sweet and very, very intelligent man too. So I would like to, on all the long haul international flights, I do my best to sit next to him, because there was never a dull moment. He was either talking about some crazy science fiction book that he was reading, and he'd spend an hour talking about that, or we'd be talking about music, of course, and talking about Coltrane records and all of that stuff, or we'd be talking about like Men at Work stories from the 80s, which I never got tired of hearing, because I'm sure you can imagine how they went.
Very cool.
It was so he was a sweet guy, and he was a lot of fun, and he liked to hang out and party after the gigs too, and so did I at the time, and so we were thick as thieves, me and Greg. But yeah, he's an awesome guy. A lot of those like sax hooks and flute hooks, of course, everyone knows so well, you know.
He's very talented. T-Cake, we're gonna have to do a Men at Work show at some point now and have Simon back for that. So
cool.
I've got a couple of Colin Hay.
Oh, good. Then we're definitely
I know
doing
I've got a Colin
it. I mean,
Hay
I love
picture,
I love his acoustic version of Overkill too. I love that acoustic.
Yeah.
version.
And I have to say, aside from the Men at Work stuff that Colin wrote, some of his solo album songs after that period are some of the best written songs. I think there's one called Waiting for My Real Life to Begin that is just an absolutely incredible song. If anyone wants to check that out, search that on Spotify or whatever. And there's another one which is escaping me right now, but I'll think of it. I just don't think I'll get over you. If anyone wants to have a listen to that, it's one of the best ballads, and it's just him and an acoustic guitar. Yeah. It's like a 12-string tune to an open tuning, and it's one of the most prettiest things that you'll ever hear. Beautiful.
That's so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Very cool. So we are
talking Simon. Oh, I'm sorry, Brendan.
No, go ahead, Charles. I was
just going to point out. I've watched the Van Halen, all your Van Halen stuff, and to say it's stellar is possibly an understatement. It's spot on. I mean, it's just spot on. But you can delve into your music, and it goes way deep, bro. And I hear I call you a fusion guitar player, to be honest.
Sure.
That's what I consider you a fusion guitar player.
Agreed.
And when I say that, when I listen to I started going into your other catalog, all the stuff you did with the drummer. I can't think. Don't tell me. me. Donati.
Donati, yeah, Virgil Donati.
Virgil Donati.
And when I listen to you guys playing it, and you did and I'm so sorry, I can't remember the name of the show you guys did. It was for.
It wasn't a reunion show, was it, Charles? In 2012, was it that one?
Yes, it was. Well, you have a video of you actually practicing for the show, and then you have the video of the show. And so if any guitar players or drummers or musicians in general just want to go on there and watch this stuff, it's mind-blowing. It is next level as it gets. The bar is way up here, and Simon, you hang with a really killer group of people, man. You really do.
I can tell you
what I hear when I listen to your music. This is what I hear when I listen to you guys play the old stuff. I hear Journey, the original Journey with Greg Rowley.
Oh yeah,
I hear that kind of a vibe, because that was original Journey was more a little rock fusion. Remember?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I hear Stanley Clarke, Chicoria.
Yep. I hear the Electric Band. That's what I hear.
Exactly.
That's interesting because we used to listen to all that stuff. That's why.
I hear Alan Halsworthy vibes coming out, but I don't hear Alan Halsworth. Okay, I don't want to say that. When I talk about people,
I understand. Look, Alan was another influence of mine too, and
you
I
can
never
hear
really.
it. But it's not just you; it's your whole band, bro. It's the whole band, and then the best part of it is, I used to love that stuff. I don't listen to it much anymore. You guys went into it was like a 2 or 3 song. I mean, I was hearing Carnival 9, Emerson, Lake and Palmer kind of stuff.
Right.
Not the same, but just so vital. And it was bringing me back, bro. It was really, really good stuff. I would love to see you live, Simon. Look, man, you ever get over here in the States, me and Tony and us, we're going to get up. We got to see you play live. I would absolutely put that on my bucket list, bro.
Well, coming from you, Charles, that is an incredible compliment and very humbling.
You do Eddie Van Halen absolute honor with your guitar playing. You do him honor. And it's not just that you're able to play his stuff. The way you play it is just, it's just classy, bro. You're so.
You guys are going
to
cry in a minute.
The word I'm looking for to describe Simon. You are not just humble, but you are a class act, and it's just a pleasure to know you, dude.
I think the word is legend. That's
a good word.
You throw that around too, Simon. So
it applies, dude.
It applies.
Look,
guys, if you don't stop it, I can't come on any more shows. It's too much.
you are turning a little red, but maybe it's the picture.
Yeah, I am a little red. And you're making me misty, Charles. Stop it.
Hey.
Yeah, that will highlight it.
I'm definitely a fan, brother. There's no question about it. But your work speaks for itself. It really does.
All right. So how about this? How about we start talking about Mr. Big, then we'll take the heat off of you, Simon.
I have one quick question for Mr. Big.
Okay.
I pick up a vibe of a certain band, and I'm wondering if you had any influence from Mahavishnu Orchestra.
Not me personally. No, I didn't really. I've listened to some, of course, but just not. I didn't listen to it.
I get a more of a vibe from the overall band. The way you guys do syncopated like guitar and bass lines that are they're very complex and they're very legato, but they're also very harmonically rich, but they don't lose the melodicness, and that's what it reminds me of Mahavishnu Orchestra, where
I see what you're saying.
Take an open idea where it's maybe only on one chord, but you go like a tree so far out. But the lines, when you come back to them, are syncopated with the hits. It reminded me of that.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I guess the thing is now that, I mean, we wrote a lot of that stuff. That what Charles is referring to, that you can see a snippet of on my YouTube channel, is a reunion show we did in 2012 for a thing that is held in Melbourne every year called the Australian Ultimate Drummers Weekend. And the headline act is usually some big, it could be anyone. It could be Simon Phillips. It could be Mike Portnoy. It doesn't matter, But Virgil Donati, being a Melbourne drummer, was the original headline act. So for the 20-year anniversary, they said, even though we weren't playing together anymore, they said, could you guys please reform and do that? If anyone's curious, you can see a 4-minute promo. It's pretty short, but it's on my YouTube channel and it's online. But Charles, I do happen to have the original DVD still at my place of the whole 2-hour concert. If you would like that, brother, I'll talk after and I'll send it to you.
Oh,
Simon, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Oh, and Simon's links are below, so definitely check out his YouTube. And
thank you,
Simon's links are always in these shows. Yeah, you can always find his links.
We'll sort that out after. And before we move on to Mr. Big too, we're talking about Men at Work. Unfortunately, I didn't get to record any new albums and stuff with Men at Work because we toured for a bit, and then it just, I think Colin was more interested in doing his solo career, which he's done very, very well at. But we do have a live record from one of our long tours in Brazil. So if anyone hears Men at Work live in Brazil, that's me on that.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Sweet.
Did you share a stage with Joan Jett?
Yeah, I have shared a stage with Joan Jett, but I haven't toured with her. So,
dude, that in itself gives you massive street cred. I'm just letting you know that right there. I love Joan Jett. That is so cool, dude. Tell me about it. What was it like?
Look, it was one of those situations where, as the hired gun, there wasn't too much interaction between the band and her. You can imagine, right? So, but she was super cool, really, really cool, and obviously getting to mingle with that kind of rock and roll royalty is always such an honor, you know. So that was really fun. But you know, I mean, I've done gigs with Petula Clark and like all sorts of different sort of people.
I saw that Petula Clark. That's like just an honor for you to be able to do that. That's an honor.
And you know what's really interesting, Charles, about playing with someone from that era too, is those artists and singers came from an era where they had to really take charge. They had to know what they wanted. They had to know how to direct a band. Yeah. So what happens is quite often when I play with like a new young artist, they might be a great singer or something, but when it comes to rehearsals for a show, they really don't know how to tell the band what they want. Whereas those older school artists like Petula Clark, they can absolutely just go, stop. Okay, guitarist, I want you to play this here, and I want the drummer to come down there. They're like full producers in their own right, because that was how it was back then. You know,
they were taught differently. They came up differently, and they learned differently.
They learned differently, and of course, there was no studio tricks of the last 20 years like auto-tune and stuff. Like, you didn't get to that level of releasing records unless you really knew your stuff.
You had to know it all pretty much.
Yeah.
But doesn't that go back to that how well the musicians know each other and have played with each other and how tight they are? You got to pick up on that too. I mean, if you guys know each other already, I should know that.
One more question for me, Simon, before we get on with what we're actually here to do?
Yes.
5 years old. Did your parents force you to take classical guitar lessons, or was that like something you willingly did?
No.
Because if they forced you to, you better thank them, bro. They were spot on, brother.
Look, I think I'm grateful for my parents every day, because I don't come from a musical family. But I was very fortunate in that as a kid, they used to just, from about 2 years old, they could sit me in front of the radio, and apparently I'd just sit there all day and not move. And so they're like, wow, he's an easy child, you know? Anyway, so I'd sit there in front of the radio all day. And I think, you know, when I was 5 years old, I guess it seemed logical to them to say, well, he obviously loves music, so do you want to play an instrument? And I just said, guitar. And so they got me guitar lessons. And, you know, I know a lot of people when I was growing up as a kid that loved music, it was passionate for music as me, but they just didn't have parents that wanted them to do it. You know, their parents had other ideas, and I'm sure that happens a lot, actually. I was just lucky that I had parents that weren't musical, but they just said, okay, if that's what you want to do, we'll get you guitar lessons.
Right.
And my first guitar teacher was not a very good teacher, because my dad, because I was so little, my dad came for lessons as well. He thought, and he's Irish, right? So he was like, oh, maybe I can learn guitar as well. And
wow.
And Dad called quits on the lessons with him, because he was like, oh, this guy's terrible, you know. But it was clear that I still kept playing on the guitar even without the teacher. So a year later, he said, I'll get you a new teacher, and so the rest is history.
Wow.
Right
How many? Do you play piano by any chance? Do you actually read music?
I read music because I grew up on classical guitar. So but I actually wish that I also had piano lessons when I was young too, only because, I mean, playing piano is such a useful skill as a producer. You know, you're always having to write string quartet arrangements or do this or do that. Yeah. But look, I can play enough that I can program with MIDI pretty much anything that I need to, and especially if I slow the track down a bit, you know, with my claw hands. And
excellent.
I'm actually trying to teach myself, just for something fun on the side, a Chopin prelude on piano, which is totally ridiculous. So I can play the first 4 bars already. I'm doing well.
That's totally cool.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a year, and I can play the first 4 bars. But
those preludes are no joke, man.
Hearing
No,
you say
no
that
joke.
you were working on something to get 4 bars done and it took you a year to do it just doesn't sound right, though, bro. It really doesn't. We'll keep this between us, just between us. It's cool.
In fairness, I don't work on it every day, but it's just something that I think, like, because a lot of people said, well, you could get piano lessons now, and there's online courses, of course. And
Sure.
I'm like, nah, I can read music. I'll just go straight to Chopin and see how I go, but it's not going very well. I should really get the proper lessons where you learn like the chords and everything first, you know?
Sure. Well, you picked a hard one to learn, though. I mean, geez, straight to Chopin.
Yeah, it's just because I guess I'm lucky because being a guitarist, my fingers can already move and I can read music. So it's just a matter of like teaching. I'm not used to doing both hands at the same time. Like,
I understand.
Most,
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's great, man. Fantastic. I saw Mr. Big open for Rush back in 1990. I found my ticket.
1990. Look at that. That's cool.
I found my ticket at the Hartford Civic Center. I went to college at the University of Hartford.
That's
and
awesome.
there's my Rush ticket. Mr. Big opened up for him, and it was amazing. I was like, holy cow. You know, no one really goes to see the opening band, but I'm like, these guys are fantastic. You know,
so
That's so cool.
You knew about them opening ahead of time, though.
I did not. No, not in 1990. So
but did you know them when you saw them?
I knew one or two songs, but I didn't know. I didn't really wasn't up on the entire group, Billy Sheehan and Paul Gilbert and other guys.
You didn't know them? Okay.
No, I didn't know them as well. And I mean, I did after that for sure. But, but yeah, it was, I'm going to see Rush. I don't know if Simon. I'm a huge Rush fan, my favorite band in the entire world. So I'm like,
1990, you say?
Yeah, 1990. I'm like,
yeah, they were.
I'm like, I don't really care who's opening up, but I get there. I'm like, oh, Mr. Big. Like, I kind of remember. I've kind of heard the name, but maybe a song here and there. But then, like, wow, they're actually very good, So yeah, it was a good tour. It was the Presto tour.
Excellent, dude.
Yeah,
excellent. Yeah, they toured for a bit by the time you saw them.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they were at that time in '90 that they were still, because you're right. I think it's the last. I can't remember the name of that tour, but that's the last time I saw them. And the last time I saw Rush.
Yeah, Rush. It was Presto, their Presto album.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to catch them at the Reseda Country Club, like '88, one of their first shows that year.
Yeah.
Sheehan that was the year that he left Roth. He finally left Roth.
Right.
And he was putting the band together, and he pieced it together very quickly, very quickly.
And very well.
He left Roth in like March of '88, and he pieced it together within like 2 or 3 months, I believe is what it was. Gilbert had just left Racer X, and I think. So,
Charles, can I interrupt? Can I ask? Sure. It was pretty much Billy that put Mr. Big together, was it?
Yeah, that's my understanding. Absolutely.
Yeah. After he left Roth's band, he started putting it together.
He actually confirmed that. He was on, I don't know if Simon, if you ever watch Dave Friedman's Tone Talk YouTube
I do.
show.
Yeah.
He was on that, and he was talking about, I was literally in my garage, and I would put out flyers and do the local fanzines or, music magazines looking for, like amazing guitar player, drummer, that kind of thing. And he was the one that organized it. They said if it wasn't for him, they might have never got their shit together.
Yeah, right.
They're all phenomenal players, but he was the most organized.
Yeah. Okay,
that's my understanding. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So let's take a turn. We're gonna have trivia later, and I want to show everyone what we're gonna give away.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back.
You're good, man.
Yeah. So, in honor of Simon hanging out with us tonight,
nice.
We're going to give somebody.
That's awesome.
A David Lee Roth band, Brian Young.
Nice.
That's awesome, dude.
Freaking outstanding.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. Very
cool.
The chat is jumping, you guys.
I have to click back into there. Yes, it is.
So there will be some Mr. Big trivia
I agree with
later.
Keith Campbell. Sweet.
Yeah.
Wing bada.
Some Mr. Big trivia. Know your Mr. Big.
Yeah, and of course, Mr. Big, you know, when they're opening for Rush, they had to play Addicted to That Rush. So, you know.
100%.
Sorry for the phone.
That's off their first album. That's, you know, it's funny. Their first album just didn't get as nearly as, it's because of the MTV video for the ballad on the second album. That's really when they broke, right?
What?
But I love the first album. I thought the first album was wonderful.
Oh yeah, me too.
They were on my radar on the first album.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All of us.
Well, because it was mainly because Sheehan and Gilbert, who had just come out of Racer X, were both on my radar, and so I was immediately drawn to them.
Of course,
you know,
of course.
Yeah. I remember reading in Guitar World magazine, I think, about this new band that Paul Gilbert had, you know, and I was very excited even before the first record came out.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Good songs, really, really good songs.
I was trying to think of my very favorite Racer X song. There's two. Okay, now Racer X used to, those of you guys who don't know, when they first initially started doing, they did a couple of cover tunes. They did a really killer cover tune. They used to play covers kind of at the end of their shows back in those days.
Yeah.
And so they did a cover of Baba O'Reilly by The Who.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
They would close the show with Train Kept A-Rollin' by Aerosmith, which you didn't expect because you just heard this massive set. They've got this tune. God, I can't remember the name of it.
Well, don't forget 30 Days in the Hole, the Humble Pie tune. They
Oh,
did
yeah. Every cover they did was so
that
good.
was great, yeah.
Called a song called not Life the Hard Way, Living the Hard Way. See, Simon, you know these because you used to be in now you're not in it anymore, right? You don't still have Racer Axe, your cover band?
It still technically exists. It's just that because of the 5 people involved in it, we're all touring and doing such different things that it just became like really hard to get together. But there's no, we're all still friends and stuff. It's entirely possible. In fact, I have a fantasy about maybe after the Van Halen thing, doing a properly recorded live concert with the Racer Axe thing. So, and especially so that I could do all the songs that we didn't used to play, but that I love, like Living the Hard Way was.
Did you do Loud and Clear?
No, we never did Loud and Clear. But see, this is what I'm.
So when are you talking about doing this? Is tasty, Simon.
So you're saying there's a chance?
So you're saying there's a chance?
Well, I hear it has to happen, and we're waiting for it to happen. That's the way I take it.
Well, yeah. More like 1 in a million, you know. I don't know.
Still, it's not zero. It is not zero.
That's right. There is a chance, and I actually haven't really spoken about it publicly. So there you go. It's out of the bag now. But
boy. You heard it here, folks.
You know, look, that's the kind of show that because we're all 5 of us are doing very different things, it might take quite like 6 months to really probably get the rehearsals together. So I would say like later in the year if it happens.
Take all the time in the world.
But there's songs that I really, really love of theirs, and some of those covers like you're talking about, Charles, like their version of Moon Age Daydream I always loved. Well, the David Bowie song.
They covered a Bowie song. They covered a freaking Bowie song, man.
No. And I just about fell over back. It was when I was a teenager. I didn't have any idea that was a Bowie song. And I read about it later and I fell off my chair, you know. So Living the Hard Way is a great, great song. There's a whole Loud and Clear we never did. I'd love to do. We never did Street Lethal either, which I'd love to do because that's fun.
The teenager in me wants to hear BRO, Technical Difficulties, and Scarified live.
If this happened, when is this going to happen? If it would happen,
we'd be looking at later in the year, Tony. Probably like I'd say October, September, or something. But heck, I'm going to use this opportunity to ask if anyone knows what I've fantasized about since I was 17 years old is to have one of those like Epiphone Wilshire kind of guitars that Paul had, like the hot pink one, you know.
I remember that.
Yep.
And they're really, I don't think really any exist in terms of people doing sort of reissues of them. But if anyone knows where one is, I would be very interested, because that would be awesome to have that.
Wow. Wow.
And since we're talking about it real quick, let me ask you guys. So Top Jimmy, who does a bunch of Kemper profiles, and he in fact did the Van Halen Kemper profiles that I used for the Melbourne Guitar Show. He has just recently done a Racer X pack, nice. and that is because he has Paul Gilbert's 50-watt Marshall from back then that got stolen. You guys would know the story about the stolen 50-watt Marshall, right? So this is the head that he apparently used on all the Racer X stuff, and I think some or all of the first Mr. Big record.
Whoa!
And so he got it. It surfaced. I think he's in. I'm trying to think what state he's in. It doesn't matter, but it's it might be Oklahoma or somewhere. But he got in touch with Paul and said, "Listen, I'm pretty sure this is your 50-watt stolen head because it's got your name and scribble on the inside of it." And he matched it up with some photos that he found from the time, and it is exactly. It's got the same Sharpie markings on the knobs and everything. And Paul said, "That's cool, man. Hang on to it, and look after it for me. And if you're ever gonna move it on, then let me know first," kind of thing,
Sure.
So anyway, what he's done with it is he's made for the Kemper a Racer X pack from the actual head.
Wow,
that's insane.
Wow.
So and him and I have been in touch, and I'm gonna do some videos for him, but that would be cool. But if I could do it on a hot pink Epiphone as well, that would be really super wild. So who knows? If I can't find one, I'll have to just get one made here in Melbourne, I suppose.
We got Racer X in our future, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Nice. Yeah, I had a Kemper a bunch of years ago, and I had to move it on when I needed cash at some point.
Yeah.
But those are the most of the profiles I used. There was only 2 people I bought profiles from, and that was the one I used for all the heavy stuff, all the Van Halen, the Top Jimmy profile. I mean, they're pretty much the best ones in my opinion, at least.
No, they are, Tom. They're
spot on.
And I've spoken with him since we got in touch after he saw the Melbourne Guitar Show video, and we've kept in touch. And he really did the reason they sound so authentic. And, I've had a lot of really lovely comments about the guitar sound. In fact, some people don't even know that it's a modeling amp.
I didn't know at first.
Right. But the reason that it sounds that good is because Top Jimmy has every single piece of what Eddie's puzzle would have been. He matched it. So he got an old Variac. He used a JBL speaker and an old Greenback. He used the graphic EQ on the front end of a 1968 Plexi. Like, it was every single box was ticked, and that's why they sound really, really good.
There you go.
Nice.
That was one of the things that I noticed. Let me ask you this: were you using that kind of a profile, a Kemper, on the Van Halen show you did?
Sorry, say that again, Charles. I cut out.
The Van Halen show you did in Melbourne at the Guitar Festival. Was that a Kemper, or was that an actual?
No, Kemper.
That wasn't it? I thought it was. I think because I couldn't hear it. It's because you had actually told me that once before. I asked you this.
Yeah. So on stage, I was also using my Plexi head as a power amp, and then running it into my vintage 4x12. But the sound on the actual video, there was something wrong with the mic line that was going to front of house from the box. So the only usable sound I had to mix that with was the direct Kemper, which at the time I was heartbroken over initially, because I was like, oh no, I wanted to blend the two at least,
Sure. Well, you're very fortunate, because that Kemper gave you a usable tone. It gave you something you could really use. It sounds great.
It was a lesson for me, because my intuition would have been that I couldn't have mixed that video with just the dry sound from the Kemper. It would have made me really upset. Sure. But I have to say, all credit to both Kemper, but also to Top Jimmy's profiles, that the fact that I could pull that out of just the direct sound out of the back of the Kemper really says something about where the technology is at.
Sure it is. That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's still not as much fun as just diming a plexi and cranking it and standing in front of it. I will say that, but
yeah,
well, I used to own a real 68 100-watt plexi, and it sounded damn close,
Oh yeah.
Tommy, I got to ask you a quick question. First of all, I'm so darn glad you're here with us tonight.
Oh, I'm glad to be here, man.
This is wonderful. Have you gotten to play any guitar at all?
I've tried, but with my finger, it's hard going. But I have set all my stuff up. So I'm actually borrowing a friend of mine locally has one of the Fender 57 Deluxe's little, 5E3 circuit that they reissued, but he bought one of the hand-wired ones, which is, out of my price range. So he's traveling on business, so I have it to play with for a couple weeks. I've been playing through that little Tweed Deluxe. Yeah,
that's so cool. Excellent.
Mostly my old vintage Strat with the Tweed Deluxe. I mean,
that's
so.
It doesn't sound like it did before, but it's it's getting there.
Very cool. Very cool.
So Simon, I see a Epiphone Wilshire Pro on Reverb for $600, but it's not pink. But I'm sure you can get it painted pink.
You know what? So are you saying, Brendan, it's the whole guitar with the neck and everything for $600?
Yeah, it's
there you go. I mean, you could buy that guitar. You'd have all the parts. You'd have the neck. You could just strip it and paint it. And I don't know. What do you guys reckon? If I do this, should I put a Carla on it or should I just put a Floyd on it?
No, I think you should put a Floyd on it and take it to that next level, because even though you're emulating, you still want to be able to bring.
Of course, you're going to say that.
You want to bring it all.
Yeah, it's got a hardtail on it now. So
tail on. Nah.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta have the Floyd, bro. You got
that guitar, a Floyd, I think.
Yeah, I think a Floyd too. I mean, obviously Paul had a Carla bridge on it, but which I think you've got to really route underneath because it's countersunk into the body. So it's kind of a pretty big job. But I have to say, if Paul was ever going to, there you go. If Paul was going to do it these days, Paul hasn't been using a floating bridge for a long time. So in some ways, I could probably just save some hassle by having it stripped, painted hot pink, putting some good pickups in it, and just leaving a stop tail bridge. Maybe, who knows?
Some mini humbuckers.
The mini humbuckers. That's right, brother. Yeah, the mini humbuckers.
We'll chat afterwards, Simon. We'll make it happen. We'll find one for you.
Beautiful, Brendan. That sounds awesome. And I saw Keith in the comments there. Hey, Keith, how you doing, brother? Saying maybe even contact John Mancuda. He might have.
He probably has the original one.
That's funny. He probably has the original one in his closet right now.
No shit. Yeah. He's got 300 guitars. You never know.
Yeah. Well, if he's got the original one, I'll sell my car. There we go.
Yeah.
No problem.
Right.
Very cool, dude.
That's
very
craziness.
Cool.
Crazy. Hey, T, do you have anything you want to do? Like, any boxes you want to open, or is there other things? I don't want to derail the show, but
no, I do have a.
Why don't you open that, buddy?
Before it's from you, dude.
Before it gets too late. I know.
So I was just
it's
researching
from you, man.
On the Gem site, if anyone's ever been there, which is the whole Ibanez, kind of forum. They actually have a post. I can put the link up for you guys if you want, of someone who made it, someone who made the, the Wilshire with, I guess the later one with the Ibanez neck and everything.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's pretty cool.
We've got a bunch of Mr. Big picks. I got a bunch of Mr. Big picks. Simon's got a bunch of Mr. Big and Racer X picks to show you guys at some point. Yeah. So you want me to open this box?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
All right.
Sure.
Well, peel it open.
Just a little something I'm throwing at you.
Okay.
So. I taped the hell out of it. I know. Sorry.
All right. Thank you. So, dude, last weekend here on the show, you were live at the Chance.
I was.
With Ace.
I was.
And you caught a guitar pick.
I did.
That's so cool.
That was a hell of a
Wow.
catch too.
Dude, it
While
was a
we
one.
were doing the show, dude.
That was a no look. I was live streaming and I saw him throw it. I reached my hand up. I wasn't even looking, and I just felt it and grabbed.
Brendan, you're a legend, bro.
It was a no look grab.
The two younger guys in front of you look shocked. Like, did you actually catch that?
Yeah. He throws picks out. He must throw like hundreds of picks out. He's got all the pick, the pick holders all the way up and down his mic stand. He plays a couple of chords, so. But and people were fighting over him behind me. I'm like, wow, dude, you guys are craziness. So, what, dude?
You wrapped it, dude. I thought I could get into it with no help, but I guess I'm gonna have to get some.
No, you need a knife, man. You can't get into that.
All right. I'll be back. Good.
Oh, geez. Man, that was wind up to. But yeah, no, that was an epic shot. I've never saw Kiss, but I'm a big Kiss fan, and Ace was coming. He's been to the Chance in Poughkeepsie, which Simon, a lot of bands play there. It's a very small concert house, but there's so many shows. I mean, Guns N' Roses played there. A whole bunch of people have played there. I've seen Megadeth there. I've seen Jay Hannon's band there, Gizmochi. So
very cool.
So, but it's just I've seen a lot of shows there, and I saw Dokken there actually a few months ago with George Lynch. George Lynch came in on this tour to play the last 3 songs. That was kind of amazing.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, it was very, very cool. And then just to see Ace, it's just history. So
he was playing extremely well too, Brennan.
He did. He played very well.
I was shocked. I have heard Strutter the solo played.
Yep.
Maybe almost a dozen times, and I got to say that version, and it's ironic. I was listening to him do it in the Chance through your cell phone on this show, and it was one of the cleanest solos he's ever done.
Yeah, he was on fire. So, and his band is good too. The band that is on tour with him, fantastic,
wonderful. Sounded so good, man.
And Tokyo Motor Fist opened up for him. I don't know if Simon, you know who that is.
Oh, cool, dude.
Yeah, there's like Trickster and who else? Slaughter. I think there's a couple of guys from other like 80s metal bands in there, and it was a good show too. So
that's awesome.
But. Jeez, T, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get it. Man.
Oh yeah, I can just while you're doing that, Tony, I can just see Sandra's put up in the chat a link to a video on my channel that. Hang on, I won't interrupt him.
Yeah, it is a cigar box, Tony. But that's not the gift. So there's nothing else in there. Nothing else in there. The suspense is killing me. That's just an old box. Yeah, there's probably some water stain. Would you open it, please?
It's a box.
Open it.
What's in the box?
It's a treasure.
What's in the box? What's in the box? Okay, you're drawing this way too long.
All right. Am I going to look first, or am I going to show first?
Oh, you're going to look. You're going to look first. You need to see it first, because
okay.
You might not talk after it. So yeah, it's bubble wrap. Yay!
Box of bubble wrap.
Box of bubble wrap.
Box of bubble wrap.
I got a whole bunch different colors too. I made it myself.
All right. And a note.
Yeah.
Is it a man in the box?
Yeah.
Junior Hawkins said it's the man in the box.
Man in the box.
Can't get credit. That was Jimmy Ray.
Okay, I'm seeing something here.
It's a man.
All right, I see 2 things. 3.
This is like a 30-minute unboxing.
Okay.
It'll be worth it, Tom.
Bubble
I
wrap.
promise you, it'll be worth it.
I believe you.
Okay.
That's one thing, but that's not it.
Dude,
Cool.
that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. That was just extra. Come on.
It's a trap.
Get to it.
Get
to
to
it,
the
Tony.
real stuff. Get to the real stuff, my man.
Don't do it. It's a trap. Gretz Zeppelin said.
So
It's a trap.
So, but
you can't get it out. It's too
Suspense
thin.
is killing me. Come on.
you're killing me, man.
All right. So
I'm never going to a birthday party with you. No, that's not it either. Jeez.
So that's.
Did you do this as a kid with your parents at Christmas?
It's a football with a rectangle cut out of it.
Yeah.
So I have questions.
An old Irish dirge.
And there's going to be 2 optional answers.
Uh-huh.
When I show this.
Yep. How you feeling about it?
I'm hoping that the answer is going to be.
It's going to be the answer you want.
Answer B. Okay.
How you feeling about this?
I'm loving this. So what this is a holder, a stand for a guitar pick capsule. Okay. Whenever you encapsulate a guitar pick, you can put it in this little number and it holds it upright so you can display it.
You put like on a fireplace mantle or a shelf or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But so you remember what happened last
We were just
Saturday
talking about
night
it.
that
We were just talking
about. We showed the clip at the first of the show, the Ace clip.
Yep.
So you want to explain this?
Oh, look at this.
That's the pick, Tony. That's the pick I caught.
Oh, wow.
And I wanted you to have it. As soon as I caught it, I said, I'm sending this to Tony because
it's so flipping badass. Look at this.
It's the essence of the show.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be part of this show family. And I said, as soon as I caught it, I knew blind catch. I go, this is for Tony. This is for Jake in the show.
Dude.
So there you go, brother. There you go, man.
That is a lovely dude. I've got to send this back.
No.
Dude, I have to send
No,
this
you
back.
don't because I got another one. Not that he threw out, but I got another one from I got a guy that works at the Chance, and he got a bunch of these from Ace's manager. So I have another Ace pick.
So why don't you give me that?
No.
I'll say you caught this pick, dude.
I don't care, man. I caught it. It's on film. I touched it.
Tony, just say thank you. This is awesome. That's all.
It's about the
Dude,
show.
Thank you so much, bro. But
it's
still,
Brendan.
Brendan.
Listen, you caught that pick. That's a moment in time for you, dude.
Yeah, but it's already there. It's recorded. It's live. It's on it's on camera. I did it. I want you to have it.
Brendan has the memory up here.
Yeah, you have to have it, Tony. So you need to have it. It's because of you that I'm on the show. It's because of you that I went to see Ace, and it's because of you that I caught the pick. So
brother,
Dave played pick too, nonetheless.
So you got to keep it, man. You have to keep it.
All that aside, and thank you. I love you, bro.
Yeah,
but
I love you too.
All that aside, you caught this pick.
I did.
I was hoping, as I said, as I was unboxing, that I have questions and I wanted answer B. I was hoping that you got another one and you're keeping the one you caught and you're just sending me another one you got that night.
No. You get this one. So
surprise, motherfucker.
So there you go.
Thank you, B. Thank you, B.
Yeah, I love you, man.
Thank you, B.
It's the essence of essence of the show, man. The show's called Show Me Your Pick.
It always feels better to give too, especially to family and friends.
Yeah, I mean, and you are a pick collector,
and
so
exactly, and I am gonna send it back. So.
You better not send it back. If I get it back, I'm driving down to North Carolina.
Bro,
putting it back
I'll be waiting in your driveway, Tony.
This is a treasure. We watched you catch this live, dude.
That's a beautiful case for that pick as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I actually bought a bunch of those cases. So I mean, you can buy a bunch.
Have done that, dude.
So they sell them, but
Okay,
You
they're
shouldn't
beautiful.
have done that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
humbled,
yeah.
but you shouldn't have done that, dude. You should have kept it.
You know what?
That's
Why?
your moment, dude. That's your moment.
I had my moment. I'm a sharing guy. I want to
Caught that
share.
thing,
I
dude.
did. What's it gonna do for me on my shelf? I want someone else to enjoy it too. You know. So
Very cool, Brendan. Hey, Jeff K has a technical question for Mr. Simon Hosford. It's
All
right
right.
Oh,
there.
hey,
on the
Jeff.
screen.
Sure.
Can
Let
you
me have a
see
look.
that?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. What I mean is I was using the Kemper and splitting the output into two. So the direct sound from the Kemper, one line went directly to front of house and also could be split to the guys' monitors. And then because I wanted an actual, like some valves and speakers moving behind me on stage, I split a second line with the cab sim turned off and ran it into the effects return of my Plexi, which is they obviously don't come with loops, but I've had one modded into it. Went into the effects return. So essentially I was using my old Plexi as a power amp and then into my quad box so that I could feel some air behind me, because otherwise that stage at the, you know what these expo things are like, it's a small stage with small monitors, and I would have had that Van Halen guitar sound coming at me from one little speaker right in front of me. So that was why I did that. But no, it wasn't the 4-cable method. It was just two separate outputs from the Kemper, if that makes sense.
Very cool.
I hope that answers your question, Jeff.
Very cool.
If you've got any other questions, Jeff, too, feel free to DM me on any of my socials. No problem.
And before he blocks you, he'll answer it. I'm kidding.
Do you actually use your loop for time-based stuff, or do you use it just for the ability to have a separate preamp out or power amp in?
Actually, I had the loop put in a long time ago, and to be honest, I almost never use it. It was only because I used to have a Marshall 9200 stereo power amp, one of those gold ones. But I sold that a while back, and I actually wish I didn't now. And especially, I wish I didn't sell my JMP1 preamp either, because now everyone wants them. You know.
Right.
It's one of those things, isn't Murphy's Law? But yeah, I really, had I had my Marshall power amp, I probably just would have used that. So essentially, it was just that I was like, okay, what can I use? And I remembered my Plexi had a loop. So yeah. So no, I don't. To answer your question, Tom, I don't use it for time-based stuff. For the Van Halen thing, I mean, most of his stuff was in the front end. What I'm going to do with the show, I can't say anything too much about when it's going to be now. But anyway, what I'm going to do when I play at the Corner Hotel is I'm going to do a wet, dry, wet. So the Plexi still won't have any time stuff in its.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. And in fact, I think I'm going to do like a proper video in the next week or two about how the rig is coming together for anyone that's interested. And because I've been obviously,
that's priceless stuff, man.
Yeah, dude,
Cool.
dude, we are the last when you did the first 4 minutes of the Live Without a Net Eddie solo, dude.
My appetite's wet.
Well, I've got to work. I'm still working on the last 8 minutes, but I think that first 4 I wanted to get down because it's almost the trickiest. The rest of it is almost like bits of things, like Cathedral and Mean Street. Whereas that first 4 is almost just like 4 minutes of free time playing.
Right, exactly. The best to cover.
Yeah, because it's almost. I mean, obviously he plays 3-1-6 right at the beginning, which is gorgeous, but then after that, it's just you can tell he's on his way to get to Cathedral, and he's just filling up that time however he wants with like random licks and stuff. And so I thought I better get the random part of it down, which I think is that first third, you know.
Yeah.
You nailed it, bro. That's the Plexi 2 with nothing in the loop. That's just the Plexi, and I use some reverb from Pro Tools.
Sounds so good.
Oh, thanks, Tom. Cheers.
Yeah. And we'll talk about the upcoming Van Halen rescheduled Van Halen tribute show. Yeah, we certainly will.
Simon, is it true that you were an associate? I think it was musical director on Australia's Got Talent and X Factor. Is that true?
Yes, that is indeed true. Yeah, I've done a fair bit of TV work in Australia.
Cool. I meant to ask you that the last time that you were on, and I forgot to, so I wanted to remember to ask you that. That is just incredible. And did you also play in the Idol band?
Yeah, I played in the Australian Idol band for the last few years of it. And then I ended up associate musical directing the X Factor and Australia's Got Talent as well.
See, in Australia, that was huge, man.
Massive.
It's so weird. You know, here in America, mainly the States, let's just talk about the States, we get tunnel vision. We act like the whole world, at least I do. Okay, I'm admitting it. I act like the whole world revolves around me. And if I don't see it in my immediate radar, it must just not be worthwhile or not happening. But you're on the other side of the globe. Everything that we have here, you guys have there. It's just possibly different. It's either the same thing or it's a different version of the kind of stuff. Like when I was in LA looking at all those bands, there's a place somewhere in Melbourne or somewhere in Australia where there's clubs where you can go and see your local guys playing rock bands and stuff.
It's exactly right.
It's just really weird. I find it fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
Well, the reason why there's been so many holdups with the rescheduling of the Van Halen show is because I've just been really stubborn about that. I want it at this one particular venue, which is, called the Corner Hotel in Richmond, which is basically one of the very inner suburbs of Melbourne. It's really only 5 minutes from the very center of the city. And
have you played there before?
I have. I've played there with Colin Hay, and I've played there with Virgil Donati and a bunch of people. But it's one of Melbourne's great rock venues, and in a way, Richmond is kind of like Melbourne's Strip, if that LA Strip, you know. And it's also where, when I was 16 years old, my parents took me to see my first ever local club gig, which happened to be a Van Halen tribute band with Virgil Donati in it.
Wow. So, get out of here!
Yeah. So
really?
There's some,
that's so cool. That is
some real nostalgic history there, and that's why, like, for this show that I knew I'd put on when Eddie passed, I just thought I only want this to be at the Corner Hotel, you know. So
that is just wonderful. So it's just a dream of yours. You've had it for a while. It's a venue that you just absolutely want to play. I got to tell you, you and Virgil, you guys got some magic thing. You really do. It's next level, bro. I don't have the vocabulary musically to describe what I want to say to you about what you guys do.
That's all right.
I don't know what to say.
Very much. Playing in Virgil's band was always, that was a band where, because I joined it very young, I was only 19, that was a band that kicked my ass musically because all the other three members of the band, to me, were like way above me in their abilities. And so I learned a lot doing that, you know, and it also pushed me outside of what I even thought was possible on a guitar, because quite often with that fusion stuff, as you'd imagine, it's the keyboard player writing all these crazy lines that then Virgil would say, Hoss, I want you to play that also on guitar. That'd be cool to have you guys play it together. And I'm like, that doesn't even fit under the fingers. How am I going to play that piano line? You know,
dude, you and the piano player on this one piece. I wish I knew the names of the pieces.
That's okay.
We can talk better about it. I promise to get better at this. You and the piano player are literally in sync, hitting. It wasn't anything too major. It was just that you guys were in sync and you were hitting this note, and the drummer was just thrashing, and you guys would you pop a note in unison, and then the drum, and it went on for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and it just got more, and it crescendoed in, and then you changed direction and went north, dude. And I mean north hard. It was killer, dude. We'll talk about this. And
yeah, for sure. Thank you, Charles. Well, one of the things about that band, because it was Virgil's band, we knew from the start that we needed to lay it down in a way where it gave him the freedom to be able to do whatever he wanted on top. So even though in most bands the drummer is the one laying it down so that the other members have freedom, in this it was the opposite. It was me and the keyboard player and the bass player being able to lock in so hard that he could almost play the craziest cross rhythms when he was soloing, and we would just lay it down. You know?
Yes, yeah.
And it was through the keyboard player Phil Tercio, who I'm still good friends with, that I came to even audition for Virgil. So Phil and I have been playing for a long time together, and he's such an awesome musician. Yeah.
Wow. Next level stuff, Simon. Next level stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles. Cheers.
Absolutely. counting down to the tribute show, as all of us are. Yeah. Joe, welcome.
Hey, Joe. It's
Oh,
good to see you.
Joe is the guy that works on all my guitars here in Melbourne.
Excellent.
Is he the one that helped with the Neil Daly neck issue?
Joe is indeed the one that helped and put the neck back together.
Excellent work.
So,
Excellent work.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Neil's hot at work with something of mine.
Yes, he is. I can't wait to see that.
You got a lot of stuff.
How much longer do we know, Tony? Has he got any kind of an ETA on that, or
no?
It's all good. It's all good.
He's just moving, and in a new land, and
Yeah.
So, but he's sending shots of the progress. So, yeah, it's looking good.
Very cool.
Right.
Looking good.
That's
looking
exciting.
good.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So if you hear that music, you know what's coming up, kids.
Yeah.
The horrible elevator trivia.
The walls are closing in.
It's the Simon on this StreamYard. They only give you a couple of choices. This one is the best one.
Okay.
Yeah, but leaves a little to be desired, but it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is our trivia music.
Yep.
It tells you how bad the other ones were if this was a best.
Oh, they're horrible because we went through them.
You don't want to hear them. I think we did that once, didn't we?
Sorry to eat on camera. I have to try and force feed myself.
No, that's all right.
No,
what you got to do, man. We're so happy to have you here.
But to say I had my organic medicine and it was helped me to be able to be hungry again.
Excellent.
Good.
All right. So
Organic
once
medicine.
again, kids, in honor of Simon Hosford being here tonight, thank you, Simon. Always a pleasure.
Welcome anytime, Hans.
Yeah.
The pleasure is all mine, gentlemen.
Giving somebody
deal or pick. Brian Young.
Brian
Oh
Young.
man, somebody's gonna be so lucky to win that.
So if you haven't watched this past Wednesday's Halenville Live with Brian Young and Simon Hosford, it is a must-watch replay. A lot of cool nuggets in there. Such a good time. Go watch it if you haven't already. Good luck on this. Yeah. There's a email down in the description. Trivia winners email. Email me your name and address. If you win, I'll mail you that cool pick out tomorrow. So Mr. Big trivia tonight, and we still have a bunch of Mr. Big stuff still yet to show you. But good luck on trivia. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's find it. Where's it at? It's not there. Mr. Big trivia for tonight in honor of Simon Hosford being here. And we have more to talk about. There is a new show that starts the pilot episode tonight, 1:30 a.m. Eastern time. We'll get into that shortly. I'm excited. Yeah.
Cool.
Simon knows something about that. All right.
I think you can use this lick, Simon. Just embellish on it.
Okay, cool. Right.
Jeez,
I'll do that.
So bad.
All right.
I would actually like to see what he'd do with it.
All right.
For the Brian Young guitar pick for tonight, coming at you right now. Get ready to type trivia. What is the date of Simon Hosford's upcoming Van Halen tribute show? What's the date? We know it's coming, but what's the date? That's your trivia.
And if you've been listening, you know.
Yeah.
Can I enter?
No. Whoa,
Brian
whoa,
Young pick. Brian Young pick. I see it. I see it. Am I right? Yeah, there it is.
You're right.
Boom.
Holly, nice.
Well, hang on a minute.
Holly.
Holly's had two bites at the apple. She's got to make a decision.
My goodness.
It's the first one. We take the first answer.
Yeah. Okay. Holly had the knockout punch on number 1, so way to go.
Congratulations, Holly. You rock.
Holly is up on
Nicely
it.
done.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
That's a killer pick, too.
Yeah.
She's been waiting.
Yeah. So April the 15th, we've talked about that.
Yep.
Recently.
Very nice.
Yep. Congrats, Holly. Well done.
Yes, Holly, I'll be mailing you this out in the morning.
Awesome.
Yeah, along with Brendan's ace pick back to him. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna beat you with a stick.
All right. So, Brendan, we have something very important that we have to talk about.
Oh, we do.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
It's very important.
Yeah.
What's that? Am I supposed to talk about it, or are you talking about it?
Anybody knows, it's got to be you, brother.
So tomorrow
morning,
morning here on the channel, we are going live at 10:30 a.m.
Yep.
Sunday morning here. I guess for you, Simon, that'll be 1 o'clock there.
Yeah, that'll be about 1:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Oh
wait. What time did you say? 10:30 for you?
10:30 a.m. tomorrow, so that'll be Monday for you, or is it?
Yeah, so that'll be 2:30 a.m.
Yeah,
for us. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be sleeping, so it's okay.
Yeah. Not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're up, if you're working and it's late, Brendan will be live here at 10:30, and we're going to cover the SubZero Heroes Ice Jump with Brendan tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Over breakfast and coffee.
Yeah. That's why that's why I have a sweatshirt on now, because I got to keep warm until tomorrow, because after tomorrow I'm going to be cold.
Brennan, yeah, you lost your damn mind, man. You're gonna be freezing.
I lost my mind years ago, Tom.
But I'm impressed the reason you're doing it. So good for you, man.
So let's find the card for it.
It's a fantastic reason to do it for a horrible disease. If anybody knows somebody, which I'm sure most everybody does, that's been affected by Alzheimer's disease or any other form of dementia, this is why we do this. Like I said earlier, my wife works for the Alzheimer's Association, and she's been there for probably 22 plus years. So she's seen a lot of stuff. And, I've had family members and good friends, family members that have had the disease and seen them go through it. It is no disease is fun, but this is not a fun thing. It really takes a lot. It almost takes more out of the caregivers and the family members, because the people afflicted, they lose their memory and they lose pretty much everything. But it's harder on the caregivers and family members, because they remember, what they were like. So if we can combat this disease, bring awareness to it, I'll stay in the water for as long as I have to. So for me to freeze and be uncomfortable for 30 seconds to a minute, I'd do that every day if I knew it would help somebody. So I don't mind doing this every year. I look forward to it every year, and I appreciate all the support. So yeah, there will be a live stream tomorrow. So click the link. What I said before too is I built this guitar for the event. So and on the donation page, the links are below, and Sandra's been popping them in. You still have time. If you donate at the $120 level or more, your name goes into a hat. And tomorrow after the jump, I will pull a name out of that hat, and this will be sent to you. So, you know, it's a fretless. It's fretless. It's cool. It's got a acrylic fretboard. It's kind of neat, and it's got like that humbucker that I was talking about. I put a little kind of like a wintry theme on it, and
That's great.
I didn't do anything special with the headstock, but that's okay. And I will
It's very cool.
I will sign the back, and you know, I usually number them and put the date on it. And this is actually number 67 or 68 that I built. So
Very cool.
it's I love building them. They're so much fun, and it's even I can play it, so it must be okay. Because I don't do very well with guitar, but great for slide, and takes pedals well. It's electric, so it's awesome. So yeah, thank you all again for the support. And
Custom as can be too.
yeah, look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And
That is beautiful guitar, Brendan. It's awesome.
thank you, buddy. Thanks,
That's
man.
going to be fun.
It's going to
That's
be a
gonna
lot
be
of fun.
fun.
So yeah, so tune in if you can, and I'll be speaking. You know, I'll be talking to the crowd along with the woman that runs it, that works for the association as well. And yeah, it'll be fun. And yes, Keith, that's correct. So when we started this, Simon, back in 2010, there was about probably 10 or 12 of us crazy people that jumped in a lake for the first time, and I think we made about $8,000. And so we're like, that's excellent, man. That's excellent. And so, you know, fast forward that to this year, and as of last year, we've made over $800,000 for this towards this disease.
Impressive.
So
That's impressive.
Yeah,
And it's
near and
become an
dear.
annual thing.
It's become an annual thing. It's one of their biggest fundraisers, and I'm proud to be a part of it. So.
Well, it's very special that you're doing that, Brendan, and that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. That's great.
Yeah, we're proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It'll be a cool live stream. So I may be cold.
I've got to get up crazy early tomorrow at 5:30 or something, but I'll set my alarm for 2:00 and I'll check that.
Oh man, awesome, dude. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. So
it'll be fun.
If you are up for breakfast, join us. Watch Brendan jump in this lake, and they just got 6 inches of snow today.
So it'll look like that picture on the far right that's my wife with the purple mohawk. So
nice.
Yeah, so we usually try to do something crazy, and I don't know if I can find that inflatable turtle, but if I do find it, I'll be wearing that.
Nice, man. Nice. Rock that turtle, brother.
You got it, man. So
right on.
All right, cool.
Dude, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So as we talked about before, you have crews, you have the Red Cross on standby, and you have EMTs, and
we've got EMTs, we got an ambulance, we have the local
jumper. Each jumper has a handler
sidekick
on site.
Yep. Yeah. So we get up to the jump area, line up, and you hand your towel or whatever to a sidekick. Jump in the water, because when you're coming out, you're a little bit numb. So they kind of give you your towel and guide you to a. We have two trailers that are heated, so you can change, and then there's like food and music and stuff, and and we do play jump. Jump is part of the intro music to a lot of going in. So and as Tom always says, or you guys always say, it always comes back to Van Halen. So.
Very cool.
All roads.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, hot chocolate,
All
marshmallow.
So cool. So cool.
You betcha.
Goodness.
What do you got, T? You got some picks to show?
Yeah, show me your pick, baby.
Some Mr. Big picks.
Simon's got some picks.
Simon's got some picks to show too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've even got some today.
Maybe we should, let's take a look at those, man.
Right on.
Well,
So
go ahead, T.
I was
Go
just going to
ahead.
say,
I'm gonna get into another.
Okay.
okay, before we get
Carry
into
on.
the subject of the show, we were talking about Racer X before. So this is a pic of Paul's that's actually he has used at a show that, because I know a particular front of house guy, this has come from the top of his amp.
That's a stage played Paul Gilbert pick.
This is a stage. Look, it's in front of my face. It's a stage played Paul Gilbert pick indeed, and
Right on.
and it's thick and hard. So obviously for that crazy Racer X stuff,
Yep.
he prefers like a hard pick. So that's almost like not bendable, you know.
That's like 1.5 millimeters too, isn't it?
Maybe not 1.5 millimeters. It's at least 1 millimeter though. Yeah. Yep. So,
Nice. That is so cool.
so
What
that's
year did
very
you get that? What year is that from? Got to be from 80.
I'm actually, I have to say, I'm actually not 100% sure of what year this is from. This was obviously gifted to me while I was touring with Men at Work. Because
I got you. I got you. Bro.
From the front of house guy who used to work with Paul. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that
very
cool.
cool.
So cool.
Very cool. So that's my first one. I'll save my second one for later.
Okay.
That's my first one.
That's cool.
Oh, that's nice, dude.
That is cool.
Oh, look at that. That's cool.
Paul Gilbert.
Oh, that's a great thing.
I've seen Paul Gilbert on episodes of the JHS pedal show. Those guys are good friends. You know, Josh, Scott. They're hilarious. They did a couple of skits where they were playing basketball against each other. But yeah, I love Paul Gilbert. He's a good guy.
Very cool, man.
Excuse me.
Yes.
And I love the way he puts his slides on his guitar with magnets, just sticks it there, you know, blink, you know.
Why
I
not?
love that
It's such a great idea. Why
Very,
not?
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
I love that he's playing so much slide now too. Like he's never stopped learning. He's always like, oh, I think I'll learn something new, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh wow.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is great.
That's why we record it, Mr. Sawa, so everybody
That's
can
right.
enjoy.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right, Simon.
You
Uh-oh.
want me to, is it time to pull
Big
out the big
diamond. This
The
is
big
scary,
guns,
you
the big
guys.
ones with the big
Well,
story.
this is
This is,
kind of the ultimate combination of Racer X and Mr. Big, really. Because this thing that Paul used to do with the drill started obviously in Racer X, but then he carried it through into Mr. Big. And I'm lucky enough to also have a used by Paul multi-pick drill bit, which looks like
That's
that.
amazing. That's
Dude,
awesome.
look
Look
at
at
that.
that.
That is
So-
sick.
That's the deal.
So if you
right
pull it
there.
apart, it's obviously just a piece of dowel that he uses. Hang on, where am I? There we are. That screw, and it's just a little screw like that with a kind of a one of those
Cool little lock washer on it. Yeah.
yeah, lock washer on it. Yeah. And
So
these,
and how was that acquired, Simon?
But
I could
but
tell you,
that's
but I-
one that
This is the
Paul
best
actually
part of the
used.
story right here.
We'll just leave it at he has it.
I'm lucky
got a
enough to
guy.
have it. And
Yeah.
and back in the day, because I found one of those old Makita power drills. I forget the model number, but it's one of the old ones where when you release the trigger, it doesn't instantly cut the motor
okay.
in it. It actually is a there's a name for it, like a slip clutch or something
Variable
like
speed.
variable speed. Yeah. So when you release the trigger, the motor actually gradually just winds down as opposed to gets kind of choked, you know. And that's the key to that kind of
So
sound.
you kind of using trigger like tightness or whatever tension.
Yeah. And So I've got a couple of those at home as well. Some of those old drills that you can just find on eBay or wherever. But
Cool.
I obviously tried making these because I knew about these, but there wasn't very much information on sort of what gauge pick. Like, was it floppy? Was it stiff? How he was, like, what angle was on the strings. So to see these picks are actually pretty floppy. You can see that.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, really, because at that speed, you don't want something too hard. You'll snap the strings, obviously. So,
Right.
And there's 4 of them. I used to think there was 3. So maybe it's possible that. So that's from 2011, as you guys.
Cool.
Yeah. Nice.
That is so cool.
And that's it. So pretty simple, really. Just a lock washer and a screw and a piece of dowel and 4 thin picks.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There you go.
And
Very
he
cool.
left that on top of an amp, Simon.
We're not talking about how he acquired it, T.
Holy moly.
He'd have to kill us.
I believe it was innocently acquired.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
No shenanigans. No.
Absolutely.
So innocently acquired. But
Mhm.
so there you go.
Excellent, man.
That's cool.
That
So
is
I'm going to have to. I mean, obviously, you can see I can just pull it apart pretty easily because the glue has come out as well. But I'm going to have to do it properly, and maybe I'll do a specific little video on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, man.
And so he just screws that in the top of that is all?
Yeah, it's literally just.
I think you need a little longer screw. It'll hold better.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the screw is not longer because, as you can see, if I bring those up, it's not very much to get proper purchase. So there was glue as well. So obviously it's a little screw and glue.
Well, you can always send it to me. I'll fix it up for you.
Okay, no problem.
And send it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll get that right in the mail. Oh.
It's okay. I don't need it right away, Brendan. You can.
It's
Nice.
Right.
Mm.
All right.
So,
So
thanks,
here's
Oh,
Look at that.
nice.
guess who?
Yeah.
Billy Sheehan, the man. I love those giant picks. Mine's basically a bass pick. The new butt cheeks one that I have, it's basically a bass pick, but I love it.
Love it.
Speaking of Billy Sheehan,
Yeah,
I pulled out an old.
he's a great interview too. I've seen him on some other shows, and he seems like such a down to earth, cool guy to talk to.
Yeah, I agree.
He really does.
All right, let's see what else. That's a tone. All right, so Richie Kotzen played in Mr. Big.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, right. And so that looks like a pretty hard pick as well, Tony. Is it?
Yeah,
It looks pretty thick. Yeah.
it's a 1. Yeah. But this one is one of the picks when he played with Poison.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, but I don't have any Mr. Big or know of any Mr. Big Richie Kotzen. I think by then he says, if I'm not mistaken, that he stopped using a pick by then. Am I right, Tommy?
Tommy's on mute.
You're muted, dude.
Sorry, I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, they were coming to play somewhere locally, and a friend of mine worked at a little music store, which was tiny, but the guy that owned it, had access to a lot of equipment. Like, he had sold equipment to Pearl Jam and to everyone. Like if you want a vintage SVT with the 8x10 in good condition, you're willing to pay whatever it costs. This guy could get it for you. So I wasn't there, but my, really close guitar buddy, Joe, was there working that day. And Richie Kotzen came in with the rest of Poison, and he said he was just picking up guitars, not using a pick at all. So I would assume by then that was kind of, if he hadn't fully gone to that, he was going towards that. You know?
Yeah.
So what's everybody's stance on that though? Like here and even in
Let
the
me
chat.
give you mine. Let me give you mine.
What I was going to ask about.
I can't stand it. I hate it. It changes the tone. I watched Neil Schon one time, who is still one of my all-time favorite guitar players. And he was doing an interview, and he has done the same thing. He'll sit around and he'll do an entire show. He'll have picks in front of him. He won't even touch the pick.
No.
He won't even touch it. He'll just play the whole show. But I hear it. I hear the difference in the tone.
Yeah, you do.
It is not as crisp and clear. He doesn't articulate quite right. He doesn't have quite the attack. How can he?
Right. Yeah, I was just thinking specifically.
Well, it kind of bums
bass,
me out when guys do that. It bums me out. Now, like, for instance, so when Zach Wilde chicken picks, he's still articulating with a pick, and the chicken part enhances this part with the pick.
Well, he always has nails too, even if his break, Zach Wilde puts on the fake
one
nails
guy,
so he can articulate every note, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking specifically for bass, but I mean, I'm sure people know Jared James Nichols.
Yeah,
that guy doesn't use a pick, and you could swear he has one. You know,
well, the thing about a bass and a guitar, and you guys, if I'm wrong, just disagree with me. Basses are not necessarily meant to be picked; they're made to be plucked. Especially if you're talking about a stand-up right bass.
Sure.
But, and the difference is negligible. So when you're dealing with a big string with a large gauge and your finger, playing a bass with your fingers and plucking it gives the balance in tone, because when you have two guitars, a bass and a regular guitar, and they're both using picks, you have a different tone than if you have a guitar and a bass player who's actually plucking using his fingers.
Yeah.
So,
but it's different songs for,
and that's true.
Certain bass players.
That is true.
Use
or you're not gonna see a metal bass player,
and some they
don't finger pick most of the time.
Well, they called Billy Sheehan back in '89. I think I can remember friends of mine calling him the Eddie Van Halen of bass.
Sure.
And he used his fingers. He would tap just like Eddie.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely awesome.
You know, so
I don't know. I was just because I know that's a lot of a bone to pick with a lot of people on a lot of people's minds is, they're not a bass player if they're using a pick, but it is what it is. It's personal preference. I guess.
Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple back in the early '70s. Good God, man, he was a monster. He's a monster to this day.
Yeah,
and he uses a pick most of the time. So
what's funny? The only one I can think of is Rob Trujillo, that plays with Metallica now, formerly Suicidal Tendencies. Man, you see him like that, but you can tell his first instrument was classical guitar. Have you ever seen the video?
Yes.
Where he picks up the classical guitar and just starts playing.
Absolutely awesome.
But he can do that just like a jazz bassist, those rolling fingers so fast.
I think he used to grow his fingernail long on his thumb too. I think he used to do that when he was playing classical guitar.
Either way, it's fun to watch and listen to.
That's
I don't know how he plays that low. It's literally like below his knee.
Oh, I know.
Crazy.
Him and Billy Joe Armstrong.
A lot of bass players do, and some don't. Cher told us for Vixen that she never did. That the guitar picks were just to give away, and her whole career.
But she also never played her own bass. She always had a bass wherever she went. She would play someone would supply her with a bass. Remember she said that. So
right. Well, some people are very attached to their instrument or one instrument or one or two, but maybe bass players aren't as likely. But Cher, that's her preference out on the road. So
hey, Simon,
it must be nice.
Are you still doing showcasing Roland products? I know there was a period of time where you were doing it in Asia, weren't you? You were going across.
Yeah, I was kind of like the Australasian Roland and Boss clinician for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, but that was back in the 90s. So that was like early 90s actually.
I got you.
So no, I don't do that anymore.
I got you.
I still love my Roland SDE delays, man. I have 3 of them.
Oh yeah,
excellent equipment. Excellent equipment.
100%.
So, Simon, I've been waiting to ask you this all night. I'm super excited ever since I first saw the card a week or two, however long ago. But yourself, Andrew, and Brad are starting a Led Zeppelin themed show on British Electric Blues on Andrew's channel, and
Yeah,
it debuts. The first episode of that is tonight at 1:30 a.m.
Saving time, but I just wanted to
Eastern
make sure that
time.
it was told.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the debut is tonight.
tonight.
Yeah, that'll be with Simon Williams in the UK, actually. So yeah,
Cool.
So that's going to be good.
Simon is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
You and Brad and Simon, I love you guys.
Simon
that
is
new Brad T-shirt is absolutely killer. And you're right. If it had a little head in the middle, it looked like a phoenix.
That's right.
Good on a Trans Am.
He's a wealth of knowledge too, man. That guy.
He really is.
Yeah.
No, he really, really is.
And his stories never stop. Like he's got so many cool stories.
Absolutely.
Love those guys, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely subscribe to that, the British Electric Blues 5150 show also. It's a great channel. Great
Absolutely.
Go
channel.
deep,
Great
man. When they
people.
do album reviews and things, Jesus, good God, they go deep.
Yeah, and I, because I'm an idiot and didn't, put the timestamp on there and put my alarm. I missed the two shows I really wanted to see with 1984 and 5150. So those are my two favorite Van Halen albums. So, but I watched the replay. Epic shows. Epic shows.
Yeah. Well,
I get my notifications fine. Yeah, I do.
The boys normally have me on for their 5150 show, of course, but for the rare occasion, I've special guested on the British Electric Blues show. Man, I've got to do some boning up before those because those guys know those albums so well. They know what the weather was the day that they were recording the bass.
So are you going to be on later?
I won't. No, that won't be me.
Okay.
The boys will be on. So anyone interested in Zeppelin, check it out for sure.
Zoso is the name of the show, so there'll be more episodes of Zoso to come. Led Zeppelin themed show.
Very
Dude,
cool. Awesome.
I'm in. Right on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. So that's coming up.
Yes.
A little later. Couple hours and something. Yeah. All right. Am I forgetting anything, guys?
I don't know. I'm just glad Tommy's here. Jeez,
I know, right?
If I forgot anything, I don't even care.
Thank you, guys.
That's the best surprise in a long time. Awesome.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
You don't know, Tommy. It's so good to see you, dude.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm so glad you were able to stick through the whole thing.
Yeah,
it means we get our Tommy back.
Yeah, so good to see you, bro.
But definitely get all the rest you need too.
Yeah, dude.
And if you need anything, we're all just a phone call away, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. I got to become pretty good friends with your mom. I got to become pretty good friends with your mom, actually, Tom. She's a great lady.
And apparently then, I think you were you got a message from or something, my sister, and I'm hearing the whole story.
Yeah, that's how I actually found out because we were all worried.
Because I'm not on Facebook anymore.
No, we were just worried like crazy. We were like, where's Tommy? And then so we all were doing some detective work, and your sister actually.
My sister was I think this guy might actually know my brother because he knows enough about him that he wouldn't be making it up.
Well, and I wanted to be not invasive about it. So
she was fine.
All right, yeah, but we care about you so much. We had to find out what was going on. So
hard hands.
I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on for about the first week or two.
Yeah, man.
I don't remember the first 2 or 3 days. I really don't. I remember being on my couch, and the next thing I remember is waking up in the hospital with everything in me and scars and everything. The last thing I remember was being on my couch. my 15-year-old son, pretty much saved my life because I was on the couch and I was like 102, 103 fever. And I just started babbling incoherently. I couldn't put words together. And he was telling me to hold on to his, his arm and don't lay down, don't fall asleep. And he said I was trying to lift his shirt up. Like the brain was not firing correct.
Yeah.
It was shutting down. And that's the last thing I remember. And then, 2 or 3 days later, waking up in the hospital,
Damn.
It's like everyone's looking at you and you're like, oh, where am I?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I bet.
So, but definitely much better than from 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Great to see you, Tommy.
Oh, man. Great to be here with you guys.
Let me show you guys something that
Okay.
I got new here. Yeah. So
hang on.
This, I got this in the mail.
There we go.
And we show lots of guitar picks around here every week. But there is this book, there is no book like this.
Nope.
Brian, he wrote this book. I'm going to show you this book. He does a memorabilia guitar pick convention on the West Coast once a year. And he is absolutely, if you are a collector, Brian Bouchard, you know who that is. He's going to be here on
26th?
March the 26th.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
but what this book is, and there is no book like this. What this book is, let me try to.
How big is that book, Tony?
It's big.
I mean, it looks like you're struggling to hold the damn thing up, man. What does it weigh?
Like an inch and a half thick.
Yeah. But it's got,
Good Lord.
you see, a bunch of bands and a bunch.
Whoa.
But it starts, and the foreword is written by our friend Steve.
Nice.
Very cool.
And it is a lovely written foreword.
Very nice, man.
All right, so I get this, and it's a big, heavy hardback, as you see. So I turn, and as many pictures as there are in here, I turn the page to page 3. I turn the page to page 3, the first picture in this book now.
Get it up there.
The first picture
what
is,
do you see, chat?
This is a group of collectors at the convention, not last year because of COVID in August, but the year before. Steve missed a couple of episodes because he had to go to the convention. And it was in August, 2 Augusts ago. But there's Steve, second from the right. Nice shirt, Steve.
He's got to show me your picture, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Representing in the book.
So
How cool is that?
That is amazing.
Forever recorded.
Excellent.
That is
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Excellent. That is awesome.
So that was, when I opened up this book, I had seen this cover, been waiting on this book to come out. You know, I know who Brian is. You know, everybody who collects knows who Brian Bouchard is and knows about this book coming out. But that was the first thing that I saw, the first image that I saw. I'm like, oh, Lord.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yeah, but this book, we'll get into this book in many episodes.
Yep.
Awesome.
Racer X, look, I just happened to turn the dude, can't write this shit. I just happened to turn the pay, dude.
Watch your profanity.
Watch your profanity.
Oh,
Showing
man.
Racer X here.
Nice. Look at that.
That's
Oh,
very
that's-
cool.
That's killer.
Wow.
Very cool.
That is cool.
Wow.
Thank you, Brian.
Very cool.
But
man.
yeah, but this book, there's no other book like this. So kind of what the Van Halen Encyclopedia is, this is the Bible to this.
Awesome.
Tony, you never told us the story. How did you actually receive that book? Were you
So
expecting it, or was it just?
no, Brian was everybody knows who he is, and on the collector Facebook groups, the guitar pick groups, and we knew about this book, and so I got me one.
Excellent.
Yeah, let me show you what he wrote. If you can see that.
Nice.
That's killer, dude. Absolutely cool.
You do absolutely rock.
So
Yes, you do.
he'll be here on the 26th. Brian Bouchard.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Cool.
gonna be a grand time. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool, man.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, very excited about that book. Yeah.
Epic stuff, T.
Yes. So Tommy, while you were gone, dude, we had a birthday.
Nice.
Halenville Lab, 1 year, dude.
I was watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So cool.
Yeah. You were on that first show, bro.
Sorry.
So
Brendan's distracting me.
I didn't do anything.
The year went quick.
I didn't do anything.
all right.
Those are your
All
toenails?
right. Let's wrap it up.
Those are your toenails, aren't they? Yes, they are.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
All right. So before we head out of here, Simon, always a pleasure seeing you, sir. Dude.
Us, we love you, buddy. Absolutely love you, man.
I love all of you guys too. Thank you so much for having me on. It's an honor. So
Open invitation, brother.
Yeah,
anytime.
anytime you want to hop in.
Tell Andrew and Brad we said hello. And
Yes.
we love you too, man.
I will definitely, and Tom especially. I have to say, it's so good to see you, brother. Really.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Welcome back, Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's so cool.
Yeah. How
Yes,
cool.
it is.
How cool.
It's nice to have
Speaking
something to
of
look
cool,
forward to Saturday again, you know.
speaking
this
of
again
cool
next week. Yes, sir.
and real cool in the morning.
No.
Yes.
That's good.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait to get in the water.
Watch your profanity, and there is a poll in the chat already created. So cast your vote.
Yeah, when I get into the water, my nether region is gonna go.
Surprise, motherfucker!
That's what's gonna happen.
And then the guy's gonna be in the background. He's gonna be like, "Watch out, profanity."
There might be another guy back there, Tom, saying,
It would be awesome if somebody actually did that and then jumped.
maybe I'll do it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that would be the best.
Yep. Sound off your battle cry.
So in the chat of the SubZero Hero show for tomorrow morning, the poll is the question is, what are the first words what are going to be the first words out of Brendan's mouth as he hits the water.
And you'll be able to hear it because someone should be recording it. I'm going to give somebody my phone, and you know,
there are some
I'm not
nice
jumping in with my
options
phone. I'm not crazy.
There
Yeah.
is.
for you.
I voted for the
very
first
cool.
one.
It may be the first one. Believe me, when you get in there after you're done blacking out and you come back. I'm kidding. No, once you lose your breath, you come back, and
Right.
there might be some expletives flying, but that's okay.
Exactly.
I'll put it that way.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Cool, kids.
We should go.
All right. Simon, thank you so much, dude. This
Thanks,
has
everybody.
been
Thanks, everyone in the chat.
so fun.
Good
Always
luck
a
in
pleasure.
2 hours, not 11
man.
hours or something. Brendan, good luck.
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you, sir.
Cool. All right.
Be well, Haas.
Thank God.
Work on, buddy.
Thanks,
All right.
everyone. Cheers.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Tommy,
Hey.
Tommy.
welcome back, bro.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Welcome back, dude.
Thank you all.
Yes.
You know, that was what kept me going was text messages and little things like that cheering me up. So appreciate it.
We had you in our prayers every
probably
day,
just keep
man.
sending them, so don't be.
Oh, they're gonna keep coming. They're not gonna stop. They're not
Yep.
gonna stop. Nope.
Sending love once a week. Try to remember.
Yeah, let's do this again next week, Tom.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. We're not live anymore. We're clear.
No, we're not.
Liar.
Nice stream, guys.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
good try. Good try,
It was
T.
Nice to see.
It was
Uh-huh.
a good show. But
Nah.
we're still live.
Nice to see you, Tommy. Dude,
Good to see you, brother.
brother.
Good to see you too, man.
Such a pleasure, man. You've been on minds, bro.
Thank you so much. Feels good to
All right.
be missed.
We're out of here.
Be well,
See
you
ya.
guys.
Bye.
Rock on.
Bye.
Bye.
This some serious gourmet shit.
Wow.
Watch your profanity. You kiss your mother with that mouth?